Australian honey is unique. Nowhere else in the world has the same environment and native plants where honeybees gather nectar and produce honey. Eucalypts and their relatives help produce around 70% of the national honey crop. It's a figure that can change every year depending on the season, environmental impacts and flowering times of plants. So what is our honey made of? To find out, AgriFutures Honeybee and Pollination program is partnering with the New South Wales Department of Primary Industries to analyse the composition of Australian honey. Honey samples from beekeepers on the eastern seaboard, Tasmania and South Australia are being tested here at the Wagga Wagga Agricultural Research Institute to develop a database of Australian honey.
The ultimate goal of the project is to develop a national standard for Australian honey. Currently one doesn't exist, so the industry will be able to use the information from this project to work towards a national standard. So the project commenced coming up a year ago now. We spent some time developing analytical methods. Some are very simple, some are very complicated. So all the method development is done now, and we've started receiving honey samples and we're testing those. So it's really important that the results we get are accurate. So we are enrolled in proficiency testing, which means we receive samples from overseas, as do quite a number of other laboratories, and we test those honey samples, send our results back, and we're compared to the rest of the group. We're really pleased with the results from those proficiency tests. Once beekeepers know more about their honey, it'll be a useful tool for marketing and for market access, both domestic and overseas. So they'll have quite a complete idea of the composition of their honey. We're measuring against the international standards, so they'll know the quality of their honey. They'll be able to use that to develop their standards and have a minimum standard to aim for their product, and then they'll be able to use that information to ensure the product is a high quality. Our plan is to start a commercial testing service. So we'd hope that at the end of the project, we'll be able to offer some of these tests to beekeepers to send their honey in, and we'll test it for them. I expect the quality of Australian honey is excellent, but this type of work hasn't been done since the mid-70s. So we are getting that baseline level of the chemical composition of Australian honey, and the industry will be able to make some decisions once they know the quality of the product. So we're measuring a lot of different components. Some examples I can give you are the pH and the free acidity in the honey. We also measure very accurately the moisture level, the amount of enzymes in the honey. Conductivity is another measurement we do, so everything's temperature controlled, and we make corrections for all sorts of different things. This project is industry driven, and this is the first step toward gaining a lot of good scientific data. And once they have that data, they have got that basis to make some decisions where to go to next. Knowledge is power. The more you know about your product, the more options you have in the market. Australian food products are fantastic. We just need the scientific data to back up that fact, and that's what we're doing now. It's all funded by AgriFutures and New South Wales DPI.